interesting thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart,
and it's all free, and it's all part of what I've been trying to bring back to Las Vegas here is the black culture. And then before that, the first weekend, also at the 100 Academy, under the same principality of Miss Russia Connor, we will be having a black exhibit for a day, like a museum. There's so many people in this city that when I reached out, they had black memorabilia, slave shackles, first editions of books, slave papers, different pictures of Harper's Weekly, different commemorative things celebrating our black culture. And these will all be on display from 12 to 5, and that will be a one-day black exhibit. But also back to the movie on the 10th, that will be happening. We're working with Mastering Mindsets. This is a youth group here under the leadership of L.J. Edmondson. This brother has been working with some other brothers to engage our youth in different things of educational pursuits. Not basketball, not football, not putting it down, but the education. And they also just got a new space with the help of the G5 president, Mr. Larry Smith, where they'll be educating our kids in the community right here on Owens for a space a couple of days a week. And this group came to me, and we worked before I knew L.J., and he said he wanted to show the movie. I said, well, if we can show the movie for free, I think we escaped most of the infringements or copyrights or anything like that, because this is not for profit, and we're just going to show the movie for free, and then we're going to let Baba Small, who's in the movie, talk about it. If you want to show the movie, figure out where to show it. It all came together with the principal and this and that, and now we have a full event. And then we're closing the month out with the Kemet in the Desert series, Dr. Renoko Rashidi on Thursday night, the 22nd. This is happening at the West Las Vegas Library Theater. We're so gracious that they grant us this, they allow us to have the space to talk about it, and this is a whole week in a culture. And it will be Dr. Renoko Rashidi, whose practice is finding the global black presence. He goes to China, he finds black people in pictures, in their own words. He goes to Russia, he acquaints us with Pushkin, one of the greatest Russian writers who is African. He goes all over the world. I believe he's been to over 120 countries, and he takes images of black people. He goes to Ethiopia, he takes trips to Mexico to show us the Olmec heads, because the first African statues in Mexico that they found. How did these African statues get here? Maybe Africans were there. He uncovers how that happened and what happens to bring that transformation. And then we're having Professor Mira and Ashura Kwesi. The people who took me to Kemet, you should go see Africa because the book's in stone. This brother and sisters, the husband and wife couple, have been going back to Kemet for the past 40 years. They work with Dr. Ben, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop. These are master teachers that still walk amongst us, and I was blessed to go to Cairo and Egypt and travel the Delta Nile with them all the way down to the Sudanese border. So they will show you the books in stone and pictures and tell us about our great leaders. And Mira Kwesi, his wife, specializes in telling us the black woman's struggle. It's more than Cleopatra. Trust, come out and see these people. And these are all happening free as part of the Kemet in the Desert series. You can check it out on my Facebook page, Like It Is Radio. Or you can also go to, because there's a lot of things happening in Vegas. Some ladies put this page together, I Love Being Black Las Vegas. There's a whole month full of stuff that they're doing, some dedicated to single parents, single mothers, single fathers, the health, the cultural divides, relationships, food. There's something on that page for everybody. I Love Being Black Las Vegas tells you what we're trying to do out here for Black History Month.
And then, of course, that Saturday, right? It's Antonio Fark, right?
Right, and then we're closing the event with celebrating one of our best film icons who lives here, who competes for nothing in terms of respect in the neighborhood because of his on-film presence and some of the characters and images that he's created for us. But he gives back so much to our kids in the youth development programs during the summer with his artistic and creative knowledge. It's easy to work with a legend, one of the kids told me when they were there, and that's in the form of Mr. Antonio Fargas. And because he was my matinee hero, and we saw this movie Saturday afternoon, like 12 o'clock, you get in there, go see the latest, what they would call black exploitation movies. But they were black freedom movies for me because I saw black men winning. I saw Jim Brown kicking somebody, beating somebody up. I saw Fred Williamson put the squeeze on the mafia.
Max Julian.
Max Julian's a pimp. Richard Pryor. And that's what I mean. We're going to talk to Mr. Fargas about some of those images that he's created, because we all know him as Huggy Bear. We knew him. He was in Shaft. He was in so many other movies. And even when they did the remakes of these movies, they brought him back because I'm Gonna Get You Sucker brought his character back to life. And that's what I mean. They call them black exploitation movies, but every Saturday or every couple of Saturdays when they had a black movie out, you could see a black superhero, so to speak. I know we're going to get the Black Panther, but back in that day, it was beating the mafia dude. It was beating the cop. It was beating the drug dealer. It was beating the system. And these were the heroes of my youth because they let me know that white people didn't know better than us. We could overcome because Jim Brown would kick him. Fred Williamson would shoot him. Jim Brown would choke him. So those images meant something. And even with Superfly, if you look at it, look at the last scenes. I mean, he was the hero. He walked away in the sunset, so to speak. Like
He rides off in the sunset in the El Dorado.
Man on 123rd Street, you know what I'm saying? And he beat everybody. He beat the cops down. He beat the mafia down. And he got to ride up into the sunset like John Wayne in an urban setting. He was a dazzling urbanite to me. That brother, but it let us know that you could win. And we hadn't seen those images. And Mr. Antonio Fargas is one of those icons in those films who will talk to us. And we're giving him city proclamation because he deserves it. So come on out. If you're coming to Vegas, Black History Month, we got stuff for you. I'm sure the Black Ice Chronicles will put it down and let us know because I'm deeply appreciative to what this brother's been doing by putting us on film, by putting it in the history books, making it possible for other generations to hear, see, and challenge what we've done or what we haven't done. And that's important because, don't get me wrong, we're still looking at those Nazi films. They show us some, but they don't show us the ones where he had the meetings. They had meetings on film to develop strategies. Everything he did, they put on film. And don't think they're not taping 45 and everything that's happening here. So it's important that we dialogue and have our own stories because that's what we're doing with the stuff we're here, and especially the exhibit. How many of you have seen slave shackles or actually slave papers? Slave papers are what was the selling of young blacks or, they're called slave papers. You have an opportunity to see these things. You don't have to go to D.C. It's here in Vegas for free for that one day. And so many people in the community have, once I put it out there, you wouldn't believe how much stuff we got out here. Old heads, I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to get with you. I thought I had something going on in my mind. I went to a lady's house, holy moly. So we're going to have some exhibits out there, and we're going to have her try to make it multimedia and some other stuff. But come on out, and we appreciate what you do because putting it down on film or writing it and making it short, and that's our story. We see it in Egypt. They wrote it in stone. And everything that they couldn't, if you go, when you do go to Egypt, they stole everything they could. Because how is King Tut in New York? How is this over there? How is it in Russia? But the stuff they didn't take, the high-up images and beautiful stuff, the books in stone is still there because they couldn't take it all. You can see the original calendar, the original medical room, the original planting seasons, all that stuff's there in stone because they wrote it down. And you, by taking it in film, is doing the same thing. It'll be forever. And I appreciate that, brother.
Oh, thank you.